So, as many male gamers who do not like to admit it, I'm a huge fan of The Sims. When I was still a little boy of 10 or 11, I bought The Sims Deluxe and all the expansions every time I could afford one, and that was when they were all cheap as dirt because The Sims 2 was already out. A similar thing happened when the third installment of the game came out. I bought it immediately because of all the cool new features in it. Open neighborhoods, creator style, more than 2-story buildings. This game had stuff in it I didn't even know I wanted, and they made it a great game, making me buy a few of the expansions that came afterward. And now EA and Maxis have released The Sims 4, the installment of the series which is mainly great at fucking us in our asses. Here comes a game that simply took everything that made The Sims 3 great, put it in a box and threw it out the fucking window. Creator style? Fuck that! A modifiable open world? Fuck that too! Proper terrain, pools or careers like medicine and law enforcement? Fuck all of those things! TS4News.com compiled a list of 89 features that are missing in the game and will almost certainly never be added. And it is a lot of stuff that you most certainly will want if you have ever played any Sims game ever. Lots are now completely flat, and all buildings must be built either with or without a foundation, no mixing allowed. There will be no toddlers, and babies are now just objects in cribs. You can only build 3 levels high, there are neither pools nor basements, and there never will be. Seriously? Fucking pools? You cut a game feature that has not only been in the series since the very first installment, but has become absolutely iconic for the ability to get your Sims into the water and then removing all ladders? Also, teens, adults and elders look absolutely the same. They have the same height and everything, which is just fucking lazy. In TS3, only the adult and young adult even looked remotely similar. There's not even going to be a bloody colouring wheel, because removing creator style did not castrate the player's creativity enough already. And there is so much more shit that is just missing, where you'll go, why? Why the fuck would you leave this out? And executive producer Rachel Franklin actually released a statement as to why all of those things have not been implemented and never will be. And that shit is an amazingly hilarious read for anyone who is not a complete fucking tosser. It begins with new technology and systems that we built for this new base for The Sims. A new AI system, new animation system, new audio positioning tools, blah blah blah, more things that work perfectly fine in TS3, but TS4 is better because we say so. To do that, our technology base needed a major upgrade. Now, I don't know if you know this, Rachel, but usually when technology is upgraded, it doesn't lose 80% of its functionality, unless of course we're talking about Oprah 15. But wait, the best part is yet to come. So rather than include toddlers, we chose to go deeper in the features that make The Sims come alive. Like, you know, an interesting yet unnecessary emotion system that was completely uncalled for. Instead of pools, we chose to add some comfort features to build mode that were partially in the expansions for The Sims 3. So what she's basically saying is that at some point during an early board meeting to design what TS4 was going to be like, they consciously decided that their new engine would be a cheap piece of shit, unable to handle anything that would not cost even a cent more than necessary for creating something resembling a computer game, and justified with the addition of some new, weird gameplay mechanic nobody would have missed if it hadn't been in there. And as for the graphics, those didn't improve significantly, and are far from anything gaming has to offer these days, even if you go for a goofy comic-esque look. In fact, the TS3 graphics engine is better than the new one in many ways, as it supported animated hairstyles and whatnot, which the new one simply lacks. To put this into a simple sentence for you, this game has been designed to be slim as a Somalian child from its very conception. It was EA's intent all along to sell a game that will never have close to the content and ways to unleash your imagination as its predecessor, and that was smart, because The Sims as a franchise has always been targeted at people who are not really in the gaming scene and don't understand what the standard on games is or should be. The cute it girl with a red laptop only plays The Sims and Candy Crush Saga. She has no idea it's not normal for a PC game to cost 70 fucking euros at release, a trend which EA is all too fond of establishing these days. The stay-at-home mother who wants to game a bit from time to time will never read Jim Sterling's fantastic review of how TS4 is simply not worth the money. She thinks the escapist is either a rapper or a magician. Even the inquisitive bookworm who wants to understand why her new Sims game tastes like a stale piece of tofu will read the shitty excuse our dear Rachel cooked up and not understand why the technical limitations pretext is just fucking bullshit. And don't come at me with burger, you sexist pig, because you know exactly that all three of those demographics exist, are a huge, and are exactly where EA wants to sell the game. That's why they've always brought out copious amounts of expansions, because those people are so isolated from the gaming scene that they don't know this shit is far from the norm. And sure, The Sims 3 had its fucking over issues. The overpriced item store and shitty expansions where you bought 2 tables and a plant for $10. But it was never a game designed to be a cheap piece of money-milking software from the very beginning. Oh, and by the way, if you still have some points from the Sims 3 store left over, don't believe for a second that you'll be able to invest them in the new Sims 4 store. No, you'll have to buy a different pseudo-currency for that shit. EA even tried to scam the proper gamers who are more into the whole hating bad DLC thing. They only sent out testing copies of the game 3 days before release, making it impossible for game critics to write proper reviews before the game's launch, which only further reveals that they know their game is nothing but a way of making easy money. So here's what I encourage you to do. Don't buy this game. And if you have bought it within the last 7 days, get your $70 back with the Origin Great Games guarantee and tell everyone who's thinking of buying it why they shouldn't. Read the full list of missing features and Jim Sterling's review, the links for which you will find in the doobly-doo, and inform those people who have no idea what a game looks like about it before they get fucked over by EA, the only company literally worse than Hitler. If you really want to play The Sims, get the 3rd game. It's awesome and a lot cheaper at this point.